So welcome to my office, guys.
Right, we're back with another episode of the craft cocktail class. This is getting less like a craft cocktail and more like a crash course in drinking. But that's all right, because a lot of you seem to need that crash course. So I'm here to help. This is at Pantless Agent on Instagram and Facebook. Conversations from isolation, real estate without pants, whatever you want to call it. Just trying to lighten the mood a little bit, bring a little levity to the situation, considering we are on lockdown again until May 15th, at least here in New York. So rest of the world that's watching, hopefully you're opening back up, getting back to business. It'll be a little time before we all start following in that path here in New York, but that's all right, because it's about staying healthy and about staying safe. So today I've got one of my favorite bartenders, favorite bar owners, from a place that I dubbed the office, because I basically do all my work out of there. Why sit in a cubicle when you can sit at a bar? I've never opened my refrigerator to find a potential client, so that's why you'll find me working out of Fulton's Gate on Main Street in Patchogue. James Gilroy, thanks for joining us today, brother. How are you, man?
What's up, Kyle? Happy pandemic.
Happy pandemic. Happy quarantine day.
Getting through it. Hours are crazy, strange. It's a new world out there, but I think everyone's adjusting. It's what you do in business. If you can't adjust. Exactly. Oh, that's it. You're out.
Exactly. Well, I did notice one adjustment you got behind you there is no liquor on the shelves. What's going on?
Unfortunately, we had to close down for a couple of weeks there. We had an employee who had taken himself off the schedule, and 5 days after he did that, he started feeling sick, wound up testing positive the week later for COVID. Older guy, underlying health issue, and when we were cutting back the hours, he said, listen, you guys take the hours, I'm going to stay home, I'm kind of bugged out. I said, that's fine, stay home. He's the guy that ended up getting sick first. And just in an abundance of caution with that, I closed down for 2 weeks to see if anybody else would test. So we are reopening this Wednesday, the 22nd, in 2 days. Just out of an overabundance of caution, we took, obviously the cash out, the registers are wide open, literally showing anyone passing by that may have ill will that there is nothing to see here. So the liquor's gone, beer, everything's been moved off premises. And when we open back up, which means in the next 48 hours, I have a heck of a lot of liquor moving to do to get everything back in here, but we'll be up and ready to go, fully armed and operational.
All right, good. That's what I like to hear. And thanks for taking that precaution. A lot of people are worried about having others prepare their food right now. A lot of people asking, even my wife, should we order takeout? I'm pushing for it, right? I want to support all the businesses. So it's nice to see that you guys are taking that precaution, even though you didn't have to, but shut it down, clean the place up, make sure everybody's going to stay safe and healthy, right?
Yeah, for sure. And having my crew stay home, that was the key. It's not like they went out and they went partying, they hunkered down, they hunkered home. I monitored everybody every day, emails, text messages, everybody good, how we feeling? So, like I said,
let's get to making some drinks for our viewers. I'm going to do an Irish car bomb. Again, a little less on the craft side, a little more on the let's get drunk side. I was thinking the other night, what did I used to do when I was back behind the stick many years ago? What was one of the first shots that I loved doing? And the Dr. Pepper came to mind. But when I had the idea of lighting a shot on fire in my basement surrounded by all my paperwork, I didn't think that was going to be the smart move. So I said, let's go the next route, and that's the Irish car bomb. I don't have to light it on fire, but it does the trick. So I'm going to start with my Irish whiskey here. I carry Tullamore Dew or Slane in the house. Slane I usually have on the rocks or neat, and my Tullamore Dews for my shots or my mixed drinks. So we're going to fill a shot glass here. About 3/4 to 7/8 of the way full. This is probably as technical as you're going to see me get on one of these instructional videos. Got my Baileys to top it off. And we just want to layer that on nice and easy so that it floats to the top, which you guys can see that didn't happen because I don't have my spoon and I don't really care. I'm not acting like a professional. I don't have a tap system in my basement anymore, but I did find a can of some Guinness. So I'm going to go ahead and pour myself about half to a little more than half of a pint of Guinness. We'll let that go ahead and set up. Now, for those of you at home wondering why the bartenders do this, we watch that Guinness cascade. Let me get that over there. We watch that cascade down. We give it a nice frothy head. Proper way to pour a Guinness, whether you're pulling a full pint, a half pint for a shot, whatever you're doing. But we're going to let that sit for just a minute. And while we do, I'm going to talk about what I got sitting in front of here is my Move to Patchogue water bottle, also known as a vodka bottle. Great for Alive After Fives. You don't always have to put water in a water bottle. and I've got my 22-ounce beer stein, moved to Patchogue engraved in there. We're going to do this for any viewer that sends in their own recipe that is not a bartender, is not a bar owner. Send us one of your recipes from home. Send us a video of you making your favorite drink, what's getting you through this pandemic. And the first one that we decide we're going to go ahead and air, we're going to give you guys the water bottle and the 22-ounce stein. Compliments to move to patchogue.com. Just a little giveaway, a little fun to add into there while we're waiting for that shot to set up. Now with the car bomb, usually we'll yell at everybody slancha, which means cheers or good fun. Drop it on in and suck it down. Just as good as it's always been. So again, I'm nowhere near a professional at this anymore. I mean, I'm a professional drinker, but I'm nowhere near a professional drink maker. So I got to bring in the pros. James, what are you going to make for us today?
I'm going to make you a little cocktail called the Salty Puppy. Now, you might think Irish pub. I was going to give you some whiskey cocktail, which originally I had intended, but I'm a gin guy myself. It's a much better drink, and since it is now spring and we are on the cusp of summer, this one will transfer over right into the holidays, 4th of July and Memorial Day. It's a good, light, sipping gin cocktail with grapefruit juice, a little Saint Germain, touch of salt, and it goes down pretty easy. Like anybody else making a cocktail, get yourself a nice mixing glass, sturdy, strong little chip. Jigger, the universal bartender measuring unit. We're going to start with the Hendrix. We're going to go with 1.5 ounces for the Hendrix. It's like 1 ounce pour right here. There's a halfway mark on that one, so there you go. Saint Germain, elderflower liqueur, also known as bartender's ketchup. I could quote my buddy Liam on that one. Brilliant. Anything you put this in gets better. It's absolutely dynamite mixer. We've mixed with vodka. I've mixed it with scotch. I've mixed it with gin and tequila. Work real well with it too.
You call it the ketchup. I've actually always called it the bacon of liqueurs. So it goes well with everything.
Here we go with another 1/2 ounce of this. All right. Grapefruit juice. I like these little cans, and it's kind of weird. Most bartenders hate them because you got to open a can every time you want something. That's how you know it's fresh. We pour that up a touch, and a splash of club soda. Put our shaker on, pat it down, start shaking. Another little silly thing. When you are shaking a drink, always be sure to pat the glass in so it's tight, forms a seal. Never shake a glass toward a customer this way. Glass could shoot out and hit them. Do it this way, so the glass will shoot out and hit you. Give it a good shake. You don't want to go too nuts because we do have club soda in there, which is carbonated, but it was only a touch of it, so we're working. Don't do that. I've been doing that for about 14 years. A little elbow pop loosens up the glass. It beats bashing it on the bar, but hey, you got to do what you got to do in tough times. Ice down a rocks glass. Our little strainer to keep the ice in, and pour. The last touch on this one is a dash of salt. Sounds a little weird, but it's not weird if you drink margaritas with salt. 1, 2, done. When the stir goes in there, flips it around, you'd be surprised that little bit of freshness pops.
Cilantro, brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I want to go on a boat right now. Oh, this is silly.
So I'm not a gin drinker myself. You know, I always say gin makes you sin. You know, those nights of drinking gin, I'd get the gin blossoms where my cheeks would just blow up bright red, and never became a real big gin fan. But the Hendrix is a little different, right? The Hendrix is more of an herbal flavor to it. There's something about it's more of an aromatic, right?
A little more botanical. You definitely get some more fresh herbs in there than like an old dry gin. I was tasked to finish up some of the liquor in my house. I've been sitting in a cabinet half open for a while.
Oh, poor you.
I put on that. Yeah, so I readily accepted, and I finished a bottle of Tanqueray, you know, extra dry gin. It was different than drinking Hendrix. I'll just leave it at that.
Came through with a gang of Tanqueray.
We had a cucumber club soda, thank God. I mixed that right in there, and I polished the bottle up proudly over a couple of days. But it's to each their own, and that's the thing with gin. It picture vodka, but with a flavor profile. That's the real difference. And It lends itself to many more cocktails, many more flavors. I like using it. And, you know, I know vodka is incredibly popular this day and age, but this stuff just gives you a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to your taste buds.
So you're saying this could dub as a gin bottle as well? Water bottle, vodka bottle, gin bottle, whatever you need it for, right?
Yeah, why not? You know, it's great for in the car.
Hendrix is not a driving gin.
Yeah, it's a driving gin. You want a dry gin for a driving gin, the botanicals.
Oh man, I was saying when I was talking with Shannon from Village Idiot, the best thing to come out of this so far is cocktails to go, and I really hope that stays a state mandate.
Geez, it would cut down on the drinking and driving, wouldn't it?
You might get caught drinking while driving, but you know it's okay if it's your first one.
It'd be a longer conversation if we talk about the reopening of everything and what we expect, but you know, that is one of those things when they turned around and Cuomo basically just with a wink of an eye said, we talked to the SLA, you can do it. Finally, listen, that move saved a lot of businesses in this town. We take part in a bar crawl that was started, one of the people in charge of the Better Man Distilling Company over on River Avenue where the Blue Point Brewery was. Abby is her name. She's wonderful. She came up with this idea, put it out to the Chamber of Commerce. Myself and 2 or 3 others got back to her and said, yeah, we're in, let's give it a shot. And within 24 hours, we did our first virtual bar crawl. Now we're doing 2 a day on Saturdays. 2 weeks ago, they did 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And I think Taproom and Blue Point Brewery, I think, are working on something of their own to get stuff out. You can check those guys out for it. You know, you hope you can keep some of this stuff going. I don't know what the future holds. It's a little nerve-rattling, you know, and I feel more for my employees than anything because their hours are either cut or non-existent. I've had to let a few people go. Part-timers, you know, some of them had other jobs that needed them, and it's what it is. With nobody going out spending money, we're all able to stay within a budget a little bit easier, but that's where the real hurt is. So I'm hoping when it does end, they let us serve booze to go, lower the drinking age to 18, and let's party.
As soon as they say we can get back to the bar, you know, we're having a parade and we're going to be having a hugging party. You kidding me?
A friend of ours just told me that he wants to get his spit down here to roast a pig. We're going to do an Irish luau as soon as they let us open the doors.
I love it.
All right, you let me know. I'll get the pig. Let's party like it's 1999 again. We'll get there when we get there. Baby steps.
So talk to me real quick about Fulton's Gate, man. So where did the name Fulton's Gate come from? I was looking all over Ireland for Fulton's Gate or something to do with Fulton's, and I'm like, no, not from Ireland. Where did we come up with this name, Fulton's Gate?
We were looking all over Ireland. So were we. My partner Declan and myself had the place for about 4 weeks and still hadn't named it. Knew conceptually what we wanted to do, but we didn't have a name. We didn't have that that brand ready to rock. Foolishly. So we were kicking around, and I went through my wife's Irish dance reels and jigs. We went through titles of those. Declan went through every damn town in the county of Galway, where he's from, and we couldn't come up with anything. And I went and saw one of the village historians, and at the library we met, and he, just to get some of the background of the town of Patchogue here, village of Patchogue. And what he came up with was very interesting, that the street that we call Main Street, that most South Shore towns call Main Street, 27A, Montauk Highway, was actually called Fulton Street about 130 years ago. And Main Street was Ocean Avenue. It ran, most people would come out here vacationing by train from the city. The stop was Holtzville, and then they would come straight down Ocean Avenue to where the restaurants, the hotels, the seasonal businesses were. They'd go all the way down to the water. And that was Main. And there was a gate where you could tie the horse up when you got into town and check out some of the local stores. And it was called Slippery Gate. The reason it was slippery was in the wintertime when the seasonal people weren't there, the locals used to like tipping back drinks. Ice would come, they'd get rain, they'd get ice in slushy streets, and they would slip from bar to bar to bar in this town. Yes, it happens now, but it happened back then too. So I said, I'm not going to call the place, slippery anything, because that's kind of disgusting when you're serving food. But I said, we're on Fulton Street. We're kind of the gateway if you're coming in from the east, we're the first spot you hit when you cross 112. How about Fulton's Gate? And my partner, true to form, said, I don't care what the hell you say, James, just get the damn sign made. I was like, all right, done. So Fulton's Gate became.
You're going to be open on weekends, weekdays? What are you looking to do?
We're going to be going Wednesday through Sunday from 3 to 8 p.m. Saturday, we're actually going to be open all day from 12 to 8. Most of the restaurant owners that are open right now are not making anything. They're doing it to keep the wheels rolling.
Right.
Keep the place open.
Right.
Keep the pipes
And that's what
going.
we're saying. We need to support you guys so that you will be there when we can come back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The last thing I want to see is these bars close up because they couldn't make it to the chance of being able to return. If we could just order our takeout, do our curbside pickup, grab a drink to go along with that food order, then we can at least help keep the lights on, keep some food products stocked, keep an employee there so that you don't end up having to shut the doors.
I think that's the unanimous thought process across everybody in this business. And most of the clientele, most customers feel the same way. They get it. People are calling up. I've had people buy gift certificates over the phone for me to mail to them just to support us. If people, when we do open up, don't use common sense, don't keep with the distancing, don't keep the hygiene up, don't wear a mask. If you have it, God forbid, you're actually helping someone else out by not breathing on them. Avoid the crowds. Those little things, not going to make a difference to me personally. I'm a restaurant owner. But for the healthcare workers, they need a break. Slow it down. Society has done a great job in chilling out, mostly because we could drink at home, and Fulton's Gate will send them to your house too. But on the other side of the equation, they need that break. Let's just all adhere to this. It stinks. We can suck it up for another couple of weeks. As we slowly get back to work, that's when we got to really focus on what we're doing. And that comes down to the bars and restaurants, gloves, masks, staying 6 feet away from people. I can't wait to have people back in here, but we're not going to be hugging each other. we're not going to be, sitting 5 people squished to a table. It's not going to happen. They'll figure it out, and we're going to adhere within the guidelines. But just imploring everyone, stay within the guidelines. Nationally, not the same. A lot of places don't have the hit that we've had here. Here we get a pretty good hit. So,
James, I got to say, one thing that you've always been good at is levity. One thing you've always been good at is that quick wit. You've always got an opinion that's great, but James, in all honesty, what you were saying there, really, it holds a lot of water, man. You got a lot of truth to it. However, I think I'm going to start a petition that Dart League be the first thing to open back up. We don't have to be sitting next to each other. We can take our turn at the dartboard and have a Clorox wipe in each other's hands as we're keeping score. So I'm going to say Dart League needs to open up first, Pool League second, even though you don't have a pool table there. And then we can talk about bar crawls and everybody jamming in on a Friday, Saturday night.
Absolutely, dude. I cannot wait to get people in here. What I do want to say is to the rest of the restaurants here, the way that this town has pulled together, it's incredible. In a pandemic, within hours of finding out we couldn't open on St. Patrick's Day, after I had my nervous breakdown, I was getting calls from buddies down the road going, we have a situation here, we're going to be able to get delivery going, utilizing some other facets in town, quick ride. And I said, this is amazing, I'm in, let's go for it. They turned the wheels started going, people started ordering. The next thing you know, the bar crawls start hitting the virtual bar crawls. Then they kicked off a fund that we were able to utilize to pay restaurants to get food together to feed the hospital employees. We're not making money on the food. We're doing it for a fraction of what we normally charge, but at least it covers the cost of labor and the cost of the product. So now we're able to get them fed thanks to donations that poured into an account. So this is all it all happened within a week. It would spin your head. And it's a testament to the restaurant committee in this town. Everybody, it's the men and women in this town, in this business, are something to model any other town after. I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm proud to be part of it, and I'm excited to move forward. And when it does open up, it's not just going to be Fulton's opening up. Patchogue is going to open up together. It's going to be a party. It is going to be a hell of a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. I'm glad I'm with this group of people. They've been able to do a lot of good in a very short span of time during a very lousy span of time. So, like I said, I want you and your family and everybody else watching this, stay safe, listen to the guidelines. Let's get this thing over and done with correctly, and there'll be plenty of booze waiting for you when you come back.
James, you might have a future in doing what I do, not real estate, but hosting these in your basement commentary talk shows. But cheers, brother. Good seeing you, even if it had to be virtually. Sláinte.
Cheers, brother.
Definitely be together soon.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait to tip a pint with you.
Yeah. Stay safe, brother.